In this video, we're digging into something that almost everybody has dealt with this year: your insurance rates going up for what feels like no reason. What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric Hunsaker, and on this channel, we cut through the fluff to help you actually understand your insurance instead of just blindly paying whatever lands in your inbox. And today, we're talking about rate hikes, the thing that nobody likes, but everybody's noticing. Maybe you're like most people and you open that renewal letter expecting the usual small jump, but instead you saw a number that made you sit back in your chair and go, wait, what? Why is this going up? I didn't even crash anything. You haven't filed claims, you didn't change your coverage, and your driving record is clean. And still, your premium keeps creeping up like a subscription you forgot to cancel. You're not imagining it. Rates really are rising almost everywhere. Auto, home, renters, health, all of it. So today we're breaking down the real reasons behind this trend in a way that makes sense without all the industry jargon and fluff. And of course, we'll talk about what you can actually do to keep your costs under control so you're not just sitting there taking whatever number they send you. Number one, economic factors driving rate increases. When insurance companies raise prices, a lot of it comes down to this simple idea: the cost of fixing problems has gone up. So let's look at what that really means. Rising repair and replacement costs. Think about what happens when somebody gets into a car accident. 10 or 15 years ago, repairing a bumper was pretty straightforward. Plastic, paint, done. Now, cars are basically computers on wheels. Bumpers have embedded sensors, cameras, proximity detectors. That little tap that you got into in the parking lot looks like nothing. It might cost $2,000 to $5,000 to repair now. It's not just cars. Homes cost way more to fix too. Lumber went up, roofing materials went up, labor costs went up, contractors are more expensive. So if insurance companies are suddenly paying out $12,000 for a repair that used to cost them $7,500, those costs don't just disappear. They spread across everyone's premiums. That's one big reason that rates are climbing. The cost of making things whole after a claim has skyrocketed. Supply chain problems. Still a thing. It's easy to think that supply chain issues were only part of the pandemic, but the truth is we're still dealing with the ripple effects. Car parts are harder to get, certain home materials are back-ordered, manufacturing delays have made everything slower and more expensive. So when a repair takes longer, insurers sometimes have to pay for rental cars longer. When parts are scarce, then prices go up. And again, those higher costs become your premiums. Medical cost inflation. If you've ever seen the cost of an ER visit, you know how wild medical bills can be. Insurers know it too because they're the ones paying when someone gets injured in a crash or has health complications. So when medical costs rise, and they rise every year, auto insurance and health insurance follow right behind it. Even a minor injury from a car accident can cost tens of thousands of dollars in treatments, scans, physical therapy, lost wages, and long-term care. Insurance companies feel that, and they adjust premiums so that they can afford future payouts. Natural disasters and severe weather. We're seeing more severe storms, bigger wildfires, stronger hurricanes, more flooding, just more extreme weather overall. And insurance companies have been slammed by the cost of these disasters. Here's the thing: insurance companies don't spread these losses only across the people affected. They spread the risk across everyone who has similar coverage. That's why people who live nowhere near the coast may still see home insurance go up because of hurricanes. It's all one giant risk pool. In some states, companies have even pulled out entirely or stopped accepting new customers because the risk is too high. That in turn pushes prices up for the companies that remain. Legal costs and lawsuits. Another thing most people don't think about: insurance companies spend a lot of money on lawsuits. There are more injury lawsuits today than ever. Settlements are larger, attorneys are more aggressive. Certain states see way more litigation than others. When legal costs rise, not just the payouts, but the attorney fees, court fees, expert witnesses, everything. Premiums rise too. Two, personal factors that influence your rates. All right, so now that we've talked about the big picture stuff, let's get into the things that affect your individual premium. These are the things that you have a little more control over. Your claims history. So this one's straightforward. If you've filed claims recently, then your insurer sees you as a higher risk. Even small claims matter. A cracked windshield claim, a water leak claim, a fender bender, They all add up. Insurers look at patterns. If you filed multiple claims in a short period, your rate will most likely go up at renewal. Credit score, depending on your state. This part surprises some people. In many states, insurance companies do use credit scores when setting rates. Not because they're judging your finances, but because statistically, people with lower scores tend to file more claims. It's controversial, but it's legal in a lot of states. And if your credit dipped over the past year, that could directly impact your rate. Driving record or home condition. A speeding ticket, small accident, even a warning sometimes gets logged. For homeowners, things like an old roof, outdated electrical systems, or lack of maintenance can rise insurance costs. The insurer sees it as a higher chance of something going wrong. Changes in coverage or value. Did you upgrade your house, add a room, install nicer fixtures? Did your car increase in value? Did you raise your coverage limits? All of these can affect your premium. Even inflation can bump up the replacement value of your home automatically, which raises your premium. 3. How insurers actually set rates. This is the part that feels very behind the scenes, the stuff you never really think about unless you work in the insurance industry. Understanding this helps you understand why rates don't always feel personal. Sometimes they're adjusting prices because the system requires it. Risk pooling. Insurance only works because a huge group of people are all paying into the same pool. When the average number of claims goes up or the average cost of claims goes up, then everybody's rate adjusts. You could have a perfect driving record and never file a claim. But if people around you are getting into more accidents, your rate may still go up because you're in the same pool. Reinsurance costs. This is something most people have never heard of. Insurance companies buy insurance too. It's called reinsurance, and it's what protects them when massive disasters hit, like wildfires or hurricane. Well, reinsurance has gotten way more expensive, and when it goes up, insurance companies pass that cost down to customers. Regulations and financial requirements. Insurance companies legally need to keep certain amounts of money on hand, basically a safety net to make sure they can pay claims. When regulations change, or when their financial reserves dip because of a rough year, they sometimes raise rates simply to rebuild those reserves. State filings and approvals. Insurance companies can't just randomly raise rates anytime they want. They have to file with the state and justify the numbers. So when you see a premium jump, it's usually part of a larger rate filing that took months of data analysis and regulatory review. 4. What you can actually do to manage rising rates. Now, for the most part, people are waiting for, what can I actually do about this? Here's the good news, you do have options. You're not stuck, you're not powerless. But you do have to be proactive. And honestly, most people never take these steps, which means they just end up paying more than they need to. Shop around, seriously. You'd be shocked how many people stay with the same company for 10 or 15 years just because they don't want the hassle of switching. Insurance companies know this, and they bank on it. But shopping around once a year or even every 6 months can make a massive difference. Another company might offer you the same coverage for hundreds less. Rates change constantly. Loyalty doesn't always pay in this industry. Increase your deductible. This is one of the fastest ways to lower your premium. If you go from a $500 deductible to $1,000, then you might save a decent chunk. It's not for everybody. You need to be sure that you can afford that deductible if something happens, but it is a useful tool. Bundle your policies. This is one of the few advertising cliches that's actually true. Home and auto, renters and auto, auto and motorcycle. Bundling usually gets you a solid discount across the board. Not always, but often. Maintain or improve your credit score. It's not exciting, but it works. Pay on time, keep balances low, fix errors on your credit report. A higher credit score can literally save you hundreds per year on insurance. Reduce your risk. For auto insurance, drive safely. Avoid speeding. Maybe install a dash cam or anti-theft device. For home insurance, update old systems. Replace aging roofs. Add smoke detectors. Improve security. These aren't just for safety. Insurers reward people who make claims less likely. Try usage-based insurance. So this is becoming super popular. A little device or app that tracks your driving. So if you're a safe driver or you don't drive a ton, then these programs can lower your rate quite a bit. Review your coverage. You might be overinsured. A lot of people pay for coverage that they don't even need anymore. Is your old car still worth full coverage? Is your coverage limit too high for your situation? Do you have add-ons you didn't even know that you were paying for? Reviewing your policy once a year is smart. It keeps your coverage aligned with your actual life. Ask about discounts. You'd be surprised how many discounts that you qualify for without even knowing it. Safe driver, good student, senior, loyalty, new home buyer. Updated roof, security system, military, low mileage. Just asking can save you money. 5. Long-term strategies to keep your costs down. Short-term fixes are great, but long-term habits are what save you money year after year. Build an emergency fund. If you have a decent amount saved, you can comfortably raise your deductible, which lowers your premium for as long as you keep it that way. Stay on top of preventative maintenance. For homeowners, this is huge. Replace old roofs before they leak. Keep your plumbing updated. Trim trees away from your home. Insurers love people who take care of their property because it lowers claim risk. Pay attention to market trends. If you live in a wildfire zone, a flood-prone area, or a hurricane region, it helps to stay aware. Sometimes you can prepare ahead of time, lock in a better rate, or take steps that lower your long-term risk. Talk to your agent. Seriously, just call and ask. Hey, can you walk me through why my rate went up? What discounts am I missing? What can I do to lower this? Agents often have internal tools to help adjust things that you didn't even know were options. So insurance prices are climbing for a mix of reasons. Some big picture and totally out of your hands, and some personal and fixable. The key is understanding what's happening instead of feeling blindsided, and then taking steps that give you back some control. So whether it's shopping around, tweaking your coverage, improving your credit, or just keeping your home and car in good shape, there are ways to lower your costs, even in a year where everything seems to be going up. I hope this video helps you make sense of things. If your rate went up recently, then let me know down in the comments. How big was the increase? What did your company say? So let's compare experiences, because a lot of people are going through this right now. So if you want to know if you could be saving money on your home or car insurance, we'll leave links down to our home insurance survey as well as our car insurance survey. And these are affiliate links, which means that we do earn a small commission when you use them at no extra cost to you. And these commissions really help support the channel and allow us to continue to create free content just like this. So if you end up using it, we thank you so much in advance. And if this helps, then don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and stick around for more simple, honest breakdowns about insurance and personal finance. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you here in the next one.